I bow to all the seekers of truth. At the very outset, we have to know that truth is what it is. We cannot change it, we cannot transform it, and we cannot know the absolute truth at this human awareness. So we have to become something subtler. As Christ has said, you are to be born again. It doesn't mean we can brand ourselves as born again, but it's a happening of becoming something else than what you are. And that something else is the spirit. So, whatever we are going to tell you today about this mechanism within you and the way you reveal the truth, you should not accept it with blind faith. But as scientists, keep your mind open. Take it as a hypothesis. If you think it is all right, when you have experimented with it and you have experimented, and whatever I say comes true, then as honest people you have to accept it. Because this is for your benevolence, for the benevolence of your country and the whole universe at large. It is to be understood that we are created as human beings from amoeba to this stage. It's not the ultimate. If it was, there would have been all these problems not created by us, start from ecology to political to economic to all these problems, are creation of human beings. So we have missed some point somewhere. That's what we have to find out. What is that we have to be? If you look at the development of the civilization, of this modern civilization, you can easily find out that we have really outgrown ourselves without any sense of proportion and limitation. As a result, even in science, we have discovered horrible things like atom bomb, hydrogen bomb, all these horrible things which are just destructive. So somehow or other, whatever we try, whatever is the mental projection of human beings, it boomerangs back. Whatever we go up to a point comes back to you and is destructive. So what is the reason why we cannot reach that point where we are at the best and then stop there? This cannot be worked out because at a human level we always go to extremes. To understand yourself, first of all, you have to become the spirit. We do not understand ourselves. We think we know ourselves is not true, because we are made up of these 7 centers which are subtle within you, and unless until you know about these centers, you cannot know yourself and you cannot know others as well. Now then, many people who are fed up and are seekers, I mean, this is a special category of people, as William Blake has said, that there will be men of God who will become godly and make others also godly. These are the seekers. Seekers which are trying to find out why, when we have done everything that is prescribed, we have acted according to what is written down, still why is it we haven't got the satisfaction and the joy of life which is being promised? There's nothing wrong with Bible, there's nothing wrong with Quran, nothing wrong with all these great books, no doubt. But why it is not going into our heart? It's all mental. When we read about Quran, I'm surprised. I was reading a book about Quran, they're written by some intellectuals like this, Christian Science or even other books in Indian philosophies, is all a mental process. Adi Shankaracharya has called this as Shabda Jalam, meaning the net of words. You get lost in the net of words. But there's no experience of it. And that's why whatever we may follow, we like to follow. Everything that's given to us, all right, follow this, follow that, follow that, follow that, and then what? Anybody who follows any religion whatsoever, which are absolutely all right, can commit any mistake. So they don't follow, actually. That shows that it's not gone inside them. It's not ingrained, it's not innate with their being. So what is the reason why we cannot have it? Those who were saints in any country, take it Lao Tse, you can take from Socrates onward this side, Muhammad Sahib, Nanak Sahib, all of these people. You'll be amazed to find that all these people behaved in such a manner that we cannot find faults with them. I mean, if you want to find, you may with your ignorance. But the kind of life they led, how is it that they were like that? What was so great? It was their divinity which expressed. While we all have this divinity within ourselves, we have all these powers within ourselves. Only thing, we have to use those powers. We have to manifest them. And for that manifestation, it is important that we have to become self-realized in the sense that you have to get your second birth. In Sanskrit language, for a realized soul, they use a word called dvijaha, means twice born. And also for a bird, they call it the word dvijaha, meaning twice born. First is an egg, and then it becomes a bird. So our freedom is also limited. We do not have full freedom because we lack in our confidence in our wisdom. Because the wisdom has also not manifested and has not shown us how it asserts in the right way. So most of the time we are living in the relative world, not in the absolute world. What one has to understand, that there is something missing, and that missing point we have to find out. Now let's see what is the truth. The truth is, the first and foremost truth is, that there is an all-pervading power of God's love, which is called as Brahma Chaitanya in Sanskrit, Ru in the Quran, and in every scripture is described. Now this all-pervading power resides, which does all the living work. We see beautiful flowers all over. I saw the beautiful trees you have, the botanical garden, you have such nice things there. We never even think how this miracle has taken place, how this Mother Earth has done this job, how she got this power to sprout a seed. We just accept it. We don't think it's a miracle, we just accept it. And without thinking about it, it becomes just a part and parcel of our life. Look at your eyes. Your eyes are also absolutely a miracle. They are such a camera. Look at your brain. It's such a computer. But we just accept it, accept our human life also just as if it's nothing great. Even the miracle to become from amoeba to human beings. By any law of chance, you would not have become human being. But we just accept it. And we don't want to think that there could be any power that could have achieved it. This is what one has to little bit project and see for yourself, that there must be some power, and if I say there is a power, you have to feel it. You have to know it. The second truth is that you are not this body, you are not this mind, you are not these conditionings, ego and your emotions. No, you are the pure spirit. This is the fact. That is the divinity within you. Unless and until you become that, no use reading books. By reading books you become fundamentalist. Absolutely, fundamentalism has the basis in the books because the book said so. So I said so. Everybody tries to read the books and just want to use it as a norm for oneself is not true. Whatever is written in the book, whatever you have read in the book has not gone inside your heart. And so there's a problem that today we are having the first problem, not so much of political, because thanks to Gorbachev, who is another realized soul, that one problem is over. The second problem is of fundamentalism. We look at the Islam as if they are Muslims. Muslims and Islam are very different, as Christ and Christians are. One has to understand that the life of Christ was of sacrifice and great penance for us. He did such a great penance for us. But what about the Christians? They went all over the world to conquer everything and to kill so many people. How can they be the people who are following Christ? Without any compassion, without any mercy. Same about Hindu. When it is said that in everybody's heart resides the spirit. If so, then how can you have caste system? How can you justify caste system? But caste system is very strong among them, and they will also become fundamentalist if they just follow whatever written in the Quran, in the Puranas, or in their scriptures. So this is what we are now. After this political and also economical things that we had on our heads, now it's coming to fundamentalism, and it's taking charge. I was amazed to read in the newspaper that now many Christians are leaving the church and joining Islam and Buddhism. It's nonsense. It's just the same. What is the difference? Going from, as they say that, from one end to another end, reaching nowhere. And that's what one has to understand, that the religion is within us. It is like a valency. As carbon has 4 valencies, we have 10 valencies, which are, we know, as the 10 commandments. Unless and until they are awakened within us, unless and until we become innately enlightened by them, we cannot behave in the manner that the scriptures wanted us to behave. But not only that, I've been talking all the while. Not only that, but this religion that is within us, when it is enlightened, you become absolutely aware of what the mistake people have been committing, what the mistake you have been committing, and that this God's love, how it works. Also, you become a witness of the whole play. When the Kundalini goes through this center of Agya, you just become a witness. You start seeing the whole thing as a drama. If you are standing in the water and there are waves in the sea, they come up and go, and you are frightened of getting drowned. But supposing you are in a boat, then you enjoy the waves. And supposing you know how to swim, you can jump back and get so many people on the boat. This is what happens to you, that when you get your realization, you reach a state of self-awareness, meaning not selfishness, but the awareness of these centers, awareness of yourself and awareness of others also. You can feel the centers of others on your fingertips, so you become collectively conscious. Then who is the other? You can feel anyone on your center so easily. It's a fact that through this Kundalini Awakening, many people have been cured automatically by your own power, which is there, residual, waiting for you. Because when she passes through these centers, she penetrates through them and she puts them right. For example, supposing this is the left and the right side, and we are using too much of right side, then it is pulled on this side and the centers become very constricted. But supposing the Kundalini passes through them, she puts them right like this and nourishes them. Now cancer is caused when this union is broken like this by some sort of a jerk. Now, supposing the Kundalini can go through this and this like this, because she understands everything, then cancer can be cured. And we have done that. There are 3 doctors in Delhi University who have got their MD after doing MBBS through Sahaja Yoga. One of them is blood cancer subject, another think is epilepsy, and the third one is asthma. These 3 doctors have got their MD in Delhi University. And we know of many cases which have been cured. So now, not only the health, also the mental capacity. People are really these days under stress, with schizophrenia, all kinds of mental problems. Most of them can be cured if you really get your realization and fix your connection with this all-pervading power. If it is fixed, then you don't have to go to doctors, you don't have to take to medicines, and you yourself can diagnose people and you can cure people. But first you have to get to yourself and establish your connections with this all-pervading power so that you become collectively conscious and you can definitely help anyone who needs help from you. The third thing that happens to you is very interesting, that you become the joy. You become the source of joy. Joy is not happiness and unhappiness. Joy is an absolute thing. And you jump into the ocean of joy. And when you jump into the ocean of joy, you just start enjoying everything, and the state that you achieve is first is thoughtless awareness. You are aware but without any thoughts. The thoughts no more bombard you. If you want to think, you can think. If you don't want to think, you can stop it. So the thoughtless awareness comes to you as a blessing first, and then the second awareness is called as the doubtless awareness. This is all described in the Hatha Yoga, that you get into Nirvichar Samadhi and then Nirvikalpa Samadhi. This all science is not only from India. It comes from everywhere. As I told you, Confucius knew this, Socrates knew this, and also many people like William Blake and C.S. Lewis, all these people knew about it. But nobody could put it through to people because I think people didn't want to accept it. Like Kabir, I said, how am I to explain when everybody is blind? He was quite frustrated about it. But today we have so many people who are really seeking honestly the truth, and they would like to find it out. And it's a remarkable thing that so much is happening even in Christchurch. I'm very happy to come to Christchurch to see that you still have lots of English traditions. I've known England for so many years, and it's so much changed now in this like 25 years. It's all gone into another kind of a wasteland, I think, the way people are lost into the maze of this modernism, hippism, all kinds of funny things going on there. And I don't know what will happen to it if it doesn't stop for about 20 years. What will be the situation of England? In the beginning, I had to work on about 7 Sahaja Yogis who were hippies actually, and I took 4 years to give them realization. So I said the English have hard nuts, but once the nuts are broken, they are very good Sahaja Yogis. But immediately after that, they went to libraries and to all the places, and they found out everything about Kundalini. They are very scholarly. They were all professors and teachers, very well educated scientists. They all had become hippies, you see. Some sort of a fashion of hippism started. They all had become hippies. Can you imagine? A professor of physics in Cambridge University was one of them. And he was an Australian, but I don't know. He's lost after that because they said he's no more. He was quite an old gentleman. He came here and I think there is no more. Whatever it is, but it was such a hard time for me. But I found out that they were very, very good Sahaja Yogis, and they are the foundation of Sahaja Yoga in the Western countries. It can work out very well, But we have to understand that we are seekers of truth, and honestly, if we are seeking the truth, we should keep our minds open. Of course, you can't pay for it because it is a living process. You cannot pay for living processes anyway. See the Mother Earth, how much you pay her for giving us these flowers. How much do we pay to our heart for pulsating? How much do we pay to our intestines for digesting our food? It's all done free. In the same way, this has to be absolutely free. Another reason why religions have failed, because they are either money-oriented or power-oriented. They are not spirit-oriented. So, because of that, you should not blame them. But it was a wrong, deviated line they took, and that's why it has failed. Now, as it is, I'm here only for one day. I'm happy Brian has agreed to be here, and he's going to work out something, I'm sure.